My name is Audrey Barnes and I am the Audit Operations Manager at Grant Thonton for Florida, and I basically coordinate everything that needs to be coordinated for the audit department. We have over 100 people just in the audit department, so I'm scheduling approximately 100 people. The number of clients at a given time would depend on the time of year that we have. When we schedule for audits, we look at a few factors, the most important factor being risk of the client. So we try to get as many resources and good resources on our riskier clients. And we also look at location of the client and types of industries to see who would be better suited for a specific client industry. You have to have good people skills. You wouldn't think that when you're in school or in college, but coming into auditing in specific, you really need good people skills because you're working with audit teams and people above you and below you, and being able to interact with people is a very important part. I'd encourage college students to get involved in the accounting clubs and try to get roles that are specific that they can take on, like leadership roles within the clubs. If you're shy, which I was once upon a time, I would advise that you try to develop one-on-one relationships with people. It's easier to speak to somebody on a one-on-one basis when you're shy versus in a group. And if you develop a few key relationships, that should help you go further. Well, being a CPA allows flexibility in my life. So having a family, I've just got to manage my schedule on a daily basis to make sure I can do everything I need to for my girls, but still be able to do everything I need to for work. Try to put in all your work when you're earlier in your career, all the hours you can to learn as much as you can and to gain people's confidence earlier in your career. And then when you progress through your career, you're able to balance that with your life, with things that are going on in your life. In South Africa, I worked in a pub as a waitress, and I did have occasions where people did run out on me and I was stuck with the bill. Being ethical as an auditor is something that should be inbred in you and something that's inside of you. Developing those behaviors, thinking you're not going to pay for a drink could lead to, not paying your credit card bill, could lead to fraud later down in the road. So keeping your integrity and remaining ethical is very important for being an auditor. And even if something seems minor to you, always remember that it's rationale that could lead into something more. I advise somebody who wants to come to the US to do a lot of research and homework beforehand, particularly where you want to live and where you want to work. There's a lot of opportunity in the US, particularly in the accounting field. I think the easiest way to come to the US is to go through you work for a multinational firm and move with your firm, because they will sponsor your visas and you're being able to work in the US. And once you're in the US, having your CPA is essential. I needed to use a review course because coming from South Africa, I had no college background in the US, so I chose to use a review course which helped me prepare for the exam. For me, the tax one was the hardest because we don't have the same tax laws in South Africa versus the US. The first three I'd passed on the first try. The tax one took me 3 tries. Getting your results back and seeing that you didn't pass your exam is very disappointing, as you can imagine, because you think you put in the work, but you just didn't obviously put in your work hard enough. So it's very disappointing getting results back to show that you didn't pass. But you just have to pick yourself up and get re-motivated to do better. Try to change your study skills. Eventually you are going to pass, and then when you pass, it's a really good feeling and it allows you time to celebrate.